Hello everyone, welcome to today's story. The afternoon sun hung low, its rays filtering through the glass windows of Alex's office. Papers were stacked neatly. The faint hum of the city below seemed ordinary, until the door opened. A man in a gray suit, his face lined with years of power and experience, stepped in. It was Mr. Turner, Alex's father, a man rarely seen, but whose presence commanded silence. "Dad?" Alex stood up, surprised. "You didn't tell me you were coming." Mr. Turner didn't answer right away. He walked slowly around the room, his eyes scanning the photo frames on the shelf. Alex, Tuna, and little Henry smiling together. His jaw tightened. Finally he spoke. "So it's true. You're really planning to marry her?" Alex's expression softened. "Yes, Dad. I love her. And Henry, he's like my own son." Mr. Turner turned sharply, his voice low but heavy. "Love?" He let out a short, bitter laugh. "Do you even know who she is, Alex? Do you know what kind of past she has?" Alex frowned. "Her past doesn't define her. She's suffered enough." "Exactly," Mr. Turner cut him off. "She's a woman with too much baggage. You're the heir to the Turner Group. Your name, your reputation. Do you want it destroyed because of a woman's past?" The room fell silent. Outside, thunder rolled faintly, echoing the storm inside Alex's chest. "Dad?" Alex's voice trembled slightly. "You don't understand. She's the reason I changed, the reason I found meaning again. I can't just abandon her." Mr. Turner's eyes softened for a brief moment, but he quickly turned away. "You sound just like your mother when she was young, too easily moved by emotion. But this world doesn't reward sincerity, Alex. It punishes it." He paused by the door, his final words cold, yet filled with a strange sadness. "If you choose her, you're no longer the son I know." The door closed behind him, leaving Alex standing alone in the echo of his father's warning, torn between love and legacy. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's reach 10,000 followers together to keep these emotional stories alive. Now, let's step into Alex's world once more. The sound of the closing door lingered like a shadow in Alex's mind. He sat at his desk, the light from the window dimming as clouds rolled in. His father's words replayed over and over. "If you choose her, you're no longer the son I know." That night, Alex drove back to the small house on the hill, the one he and Tuna had built together with hope and love. From afar, he saw the soft light flickering through the window. Inside, Tuna was cooking dinner, her laughter blending with little Henry's giggles as the boy chased a wooden car across the floor. It was a peaceful sight, but Alex's chest tightened. How could something so warm feel so heavy tonight? Tuna turned when she heard the door open. "You're home early," she smiled, wiping her hands. "I was just making your favorite, chicken soup with ginger. You've been tired lately." Alex forced a smile, but his eyes betrayed him. He walked closer, pulling her gently into his arms. "Tuna," he began, his voice low, hesitant. She looked up, concern washing over her. "What's wrong?" He hesitated. "My father came to see me today." Tuna froze. Her hands trembled slightly. "Mr. Turner? Why would he come now?" Alex exhaled heavily. "He said something I can't ignore. He said our pasts don't match, that your history." Her face paled. "My past?" she whispered. "You mean he found out?" Alex nodded slowly. "He doesn't want us to be together, Tuna. He thinks you'll ruin everything." For a moment, silence filled the room, only the sound of the simmering soup breaking it. Lytuna stepped back, her eyes glistening. So that's what he believes? That I'm not worthy of you? Don't say that, Alex said quickly, reaching for her hand. You are my world. I don't care what he says. Tears welled in Lytuna's eyes. But Alex, he's your father. I don't want to be the reason you lose him. Alex cupped her face gently, his voice trembling. Then let me be the reason you never have to face another storm alone. Outside, the first drops of rain began to fall, the calm before the emotional storm yet to come. Rain poured endlessly through the night. The sound of droplets striking the roof created a rhythm of tension that refused to fade. Lytuna stood silently by the window, her reflection blurred by the glass. Alex had fallen asleep on the couch, exhaustion written across his face. Yet Lytuna's heart couldn't rest. She knew Alex's father's words weren't just disapproval. There was something deeper, something unsaid. The next morning, as the rain slowed, Lytuna made a quiet decision. She left a note for Alex. Don't worry, I just need to clear my thoughts. She took the bus into the city, her heart pounding with uncertainty. When she arrived at the Turner estate, the tall iron gates loomed before her, imposing and cold, like the distance between their worlds. Inside, Mr. Turner was reading the morning paper when the housekeeper announced, "Sir, Miss Lytuna is here to see you." He didn't look up. "Let her in." Lytuna stepped inside, clutching her small handbag nervously. "Mr. Turner," she said softly, bowing slightly. "I'm sorry to come unannounced, but I needed to speak with you." He folded the paper carefully, his eyes meeting hers. "You're braver than I thought." "I just want you to understand," Lytuna said, her voice trembling but sincere. "I'm not here to take anything from Alex. I never wanted his wealth or his name. I only wanted to stand beside him, even if it meant staying in the shadows." Mr. Turner's expression remained unreadable. "And yet, you think that's enough? Love doesn't erase the past." Lytuna's throat tightened. "My past? I know it's not perfect. But I've worked hard to rebuild myself. I don't hide from it. If you found out what happened, then you know I was abandoned, deceived, and left to raise Henry alone. I didn't choose that life, but I fought to survive it." Mr. Turner's gaze softened slightly, but his tone stayed stern. "You think suffering makes you fit to marry my son? The world doesn't reward pain, it exploits it." Lytuna took a deep breath, tears forming in her eyes. "Then let it exploit me, not Alex. If you think I'll ruin him, I'll leave. But please, don't punish him for loving someone like me." For a moment, silence hung heavy between them. Then Mr. Turner spoke quietly, almost as if to himself. "Do you know why I don't want him with you?" Lytuna looked up, confused. "Because your past reminds me of his mother." His voice cracked slightly. "She was just like you, full of light, full of hope. But love broke her too. I couldn't save her, and I can't bear to see my son walk the same path." Tears streamed down Lytuna's cheeks. "Then maybe this time, love won't destroy. Maybe it will heal." Mr. Turner stared at her, the old man's facade cracking for the first time. He said nothing more, but in his silence, something had begun to change. Outside, the storm clouds slowly began to part. The morning after Lytuna's secret visit, the sky above the city glowed pale gray. neither storm nor sunshine, as if even the heavens couldn't decide between hope and heartbreak. Alex woke up to the note she had left behind. His heart sank as he read her handwriting, trembling slightly over each word. "I just need to clear my thoughts." He knew exactly where she had gone. Without wasting a second, he grabbed his coat and keys, his pulse pounding like thunder in his ears. The Turner estate loomed in the distance, its towering gates opening to reveal the figure of his father standing on the steps, calm, composed, but with an unusual heaviness in his eyes. Next to him, Lytuna stood quietly, her gaze lowered, her face pale. "Dad," Alex said sharply as he stepped forward. "You met her behind my back." Mr. Turner sighed. "She came to me on her own." Alex turned to Lytuna, hurt flickering in his eyes. "You went to see him? Why didn't you tell me?" "I had to," she whispered. "I couldn't let your family fall apart because of me. I wanted him to know the truth about who I am." Alex's chest tightened. "And what did you tell him? That you'd leave me?" Her silence said everything. "Enough." Mr. Turner's deep voice cut through the tension. "Alex, you don't understand what you're doing. This woman is the woman I love." Alex's voice trembled with anger and desperation. "Why is it so hard for you to accept that?" Mr. Turner's expression hardened. "Because I've seen this before. Your mother, she once loved a man she thought would save her. Love blinded her, and it destroyed everything." Alex froze. It was rare for his father to mention his mother at all. "She died broken, Alex," Mr. Turner continued. "I promised myself I wouldn't let you follow that same road." Alex took a step closer, his tone softer now. "But don't you see? Maybe this is my way to heal what broke her. Maybe loving Lytuna is the only thing that makes me truly alive." Tuna's eyes welled up. She turned to Mr. Turner, her voice barely a whisper. "Sir, I can't erase the pain your family's been through, but I promise I will never let Alex suffer because of me." Mr. Turner looked at her long and hard, as if searching for deceit, but finding only sincerity. Then, for the first time, his stern tone faltered. "When I saw you today, I saw her. The same strength, the same fire. Maybe that's what scared me." Tuna's lips parted slightly, shocked by his honesty. Alex stepped forward, taking her hand. "Then let this be the beginning of something new, Dad. Not a repetition of pain, but redemption." For a long moment, no one spoke. The wind rustled through the garden, carrying the faint scent of roses. Finally, Mr. Turner exhaled deeply. "You've made up your mind, haven't you?" Alex nodded. "Completely." "Then so be it," he said, his tone softening at last. "But remember, love is a promise, not just a feeling. Keep it." Tuna's tears fell freely as she whispered, "Thank you, sir." Mr. Turner turned to leave, but before he did, he stopped by Alex's shoulder. "Your mother would have liked her," he said quietly. "She had her spirit." And with that he walked away, his figure slowly fading into the mist. Lytuna clutched Alex's hand, her voice shaking. "I thought I lost you." He smiled faintly, wiping her tears. "You never could, not even if the whole world stood against us." Outside, sunlight finally broke through the clouds, faint but undeniable, painting the garden in gold. For the first time, it felt like the storm that haunted them for so long had finally passed. A few days passed since that confrontation. The air around the Turner family finally felt lighter, though fragile, like glass newly mended. Alex and Tuna had returned to their quiet life in the countryside, focusing on rebuilding peace. Henry, as always, was the little spark that kept their days bright. That afternoon, the golden light of sunset bathed the small garden behind their home. Tuna sat on the porch, teaching Henry to pronounce simple words. The boy laughed every time he got it wrong, his voice echoing through the yard. Ba, ba, he tried again, stumbling over the syllables. Alex laughed softly from behind the window, watching them. That single word, spoken in Henry's innocent tone, filled him with a warmth no wealth could ever replace. But then, the sound of a car pulling up outside. Tuna turned, startled. A sleek black sedan stopped near the gate. The door opened. Mr. Turner stepped out. Alex froze for a moment before walking out to meet him. Dad? Mr. Turner's eyes swept across the modest house, the wooden fence, the flower beds. Then his gaze stopped on Tuna and little Henry. The boy looked up at him curiously, his big eyes full of innocence. Good afternoon, sir, Tuna said softly, standing up. You didn't tell us you were coming. He didn't respond immediately. Instead, he slowly approached Henry, who was now clutching a small wooden toy in his hand. The boy tilted his head, then suddenly smiled. Grandpa? The word escaped Henry's lips so naturally that everyone fell silent. Mr. Turner blinked, caught off guard. Then, to everyone's surprise, he knelt down and placed a gentle hand on Henry's head. You're a brave little one, he said, his voice softer than Alex had ever heard. Alex and Tuna exchanged glances, their hearts trembling. Mr. Turner stood up, his eyes lingering on Tuna. You've built a good home, he said quietly. I was wrong to think the past defines who we are. Tuna's eyes glistened with tears. Thank you, sir. That means more than you know. He turned to Alex. Take care of them. That's all I ask. And for the first time, Alex saw it, a faint, genuine smile on his father's face. The sun dipped lower, painting the sky in amber and rose. 3 generations stood together in that light, a family finally made whole.
Sau bao nhiêu hiểu lầm và phản đối, cuối cùng tình yêu giữa Alex và Tử Na cũng được công nhận khi ba của Alex, ông Turner Popper, xuất hiện phản đối quan hệ vì quá khứ của Tử Na. Alex vẫn kiên định bảo vệ người mình yêu Tử Na với trái tim chân thành để dũng cảm đến gặp ông Tử Na để giải bày tất cả, khiến ông nhận ra rằng tình yêu không phải là vết thương mà sự chữa lành. Sau đó khi ông Tử Na đến thăm, nghe Henry gọi ông nội, trái tim người cha chàng tan chảy. Cuối cùng ông chấp nhận Tử Na như con dâu và Henry như cháu ruột. Gia đình nhỏ của họ đứng bên cạnh trọn vẹn trong hoàng hôn bình yên.